I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all agree on that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out. She does not want to be the first lady anymore.
They agree with you.
She doesn't want to be the first lady. She destroyed the Rose Garden. Who hates Christmas? Melania Trump hates Christmas. She doesn't want to decorate for Christmas. She doesn't want anything to do with him. She doesn't want to sleep in the same room with him. She can't tolerate him.
Allegedly.
And she does.
Yeah, how do you know all this?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know all this.
Allegedly. That's why I say allegedly.
And you need to defend yourself all the time. As you may heard, I file a few lawsuits and I'm in the court now because they accuse me of doing stuff that I never did in my life. And they wrote lies. And I will not allow that. I will fight till the end because I don't want that they damage my reputation.
Things on The View went chaotic fast when Sunny Hostin was hit with a heavy legal move tied to Melania Trump. One moment she was confident, the next she was completely frozen. Joy Behar looked shaken too, and it was clear this wasn't playful TV drama, but a real on-air takedown.
Is it really shocking that all this egregious violence goes against my husband, especially that we hear the leaders from the opposition party and mainstream media branding him as a threat to democracy, calling him vile names. They only fueling a toxic.
Remember when being First Lady just meant smiling politely while your husband stirred up chaos? Well, Melania Trump took that role and turned it into something like performance art. Then there's Sunny Hostin, who's made it her mission to break down every Melania side-eye and awkward hand wave like she's cracking a national case. It's fun to watch, sure, but honestly, it reveals about as much as trying to find hidden messages in a potato chip.
Oh, I mean, that is violent. They've got to stop talking like that about a former president who's had 2 assassination attempts. I mean, that's just ignorant. A tiny sample of the social media backlash. These are such vile comments, but they are exactly what the View's audience loves. It is targeted perfectly at a radically feminist, liberal audience that loves hate. Another now. This is loving and tolerant rhetoric the left uses, which they accuse the opposing side.
Melania Trump has now fired back at Sunny Hostin with a jaw-dropping $300 million lawsuit. And this isn't just legal paperwork. It's a bold statement, delivered in designer heels. With a move this dramatic and a mysterious Instagram post to go with it, it feels less like a courtroom fight and more like a high-fashion showdown.
Yesterday was Barbara Walters' birthday, I believe.
Yes.
And when I was watching this, I thought if Barbara were here today, she would have said to her, Melania, your husband had sex with a star while you were home with a baby.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? That's what Barbara would have done. This woman, nothing. This was the most softball thing, the most softball hostage video I've ever.
So what set off this Swarovski-studded wave of rage? Sunny Hostin, of course, who seems to treat Melania Trump's marriage like it's stuck on a mental dartboard. Sunny did what she's famous for, taking sharp shots at Melania's life choices live on air, complete with a studio audience and perfectly timed commercial breaks. From poking fun at her accent to criticizing the Rose Garden makeover and tossing shade at her marriage, Sunny turned personal digs into primetime commentary, all while calmly sipping espresso under the lights.
Who gives a blank about Christmas stuff and decoration? So these two are like similar people.
She turned the Rose Garden. She turned the Rose Garden into a cemetery. Did you see that?
She did.
Yes.
So I think we're here. And it was for the people and for the left-wing media who are criticizing me. And I want to show them that I don't care. You could criticize whatever you want to say, but it will not stop me to do what I feel.
Melania Trump's marriage has long felt more like a formal arrangement than a fairy tale romance. And Sunny Hostin didn't say anything the internet hasn't joked about for years. The difference is, she said it on national television, where it's not just online trolls listening, but lawyers too.
My husband decided to run for president. The media loved him because they saw the man that I see every day. Someone tough, successful, and fair. And handsome! I agree. A man who sees potential in everyone he meets, no matter their gender, race, religion, or sexual orientation. A man who has a very big heart and have a great sense of humor. Donald loves helping people, and he loves seeing those around him and his country.
And now Sunny is said to be rattled emotionally, spiritually, and professionally. Take your pick. This is the same Sunny who once poked fun at Melania Trump's Christmas decor and NFT project like she was teasing a garage sale find. But Melania didn't fire back on social media or jump on TV. She went straight to the lawyers. That $300 million lawsuit isn't just a comeback. It's a calm, calculated message. Joke all you want, but if you build a career mocking someone who stayed quiet for years, don't be surprised when the reply finally comes in the form of a subpoena.
Love most about your husband? His humor, his personality, his kindness. He's very special. His positivity, his energy, it's unbelievable. So we have a beautiful relationship.
What do the two of you like to do for fun if you're not working?
To have dinner, sometimes quiet dinner or dinner with friends and listen to the music, all kind of different musics.
I hear he likes to be the DJ.
He likes to be the DJ, and it's very fun night when he does that.
That thing needs a left track. It needs a left track.
I have to say, I was surprised when she mentioned his sense of humor.
Let's be honest. Melania Trump has never been the poster child for grace and subtlety. Remember the "I really don't care, do you" jacket? Still, she didn't sign up for The View to turn her marriage into weekly roast material. Criticizing her politics? Fair game. But mocking her personal life over and over, then acting shocked when she responds with a lawsuit? That's not journalism. It's drama dressed up in designer clothes. And the irony is hard to miss. Sunny, who often speaks up for strong women and immigrant stories, spends a lot of airtime turning Melania into a punchline. You can't preach empowerment while throwing shade for sport. Pick a lane.
I knew he has slept with, allegedly. With Stormy. Melania knew. They were sleeping in separate bedrooms. I don't think Melania wants anything to do with the man. I really don't.
Why is she still there?
I just don't get why these attorneys, like George Stephanopoulos is one of the best interviewers out there. This is not going to work in your favor. And then he goes on Ari Melber and gets his backside handed to him. I'm like, you're losing your case by going on.
And he was sweating like a pig.
Sweating. Yeah. It's not a good idea in that debate.
I mean, how do you argue that Trump cares so much about his family?
Yeah. He's got
a family man.
So you know what? There's something so touching about it, isn't it?
Meanwhile, Melania Trump's silence has looked like a masterclass in restraint. She stood next to a man who once talked about drinking disinfectant on live TV and didn't flinch. That's not indifference, that's endurance. After years of being mocked and picked apart, her response wasn't a tweet or a snappy comeback. It was a $300 million lawsuit delivered in designer heels. Let's not act like Sunny jabs were harmless fun either. This was steady, targeted mockery aimed at someone who almost never claps back. Now that Melania finally answered with a subpoena instead of sarcasm, suddenly it's just jokes. No, jokes end with punchlines, not courtrooms. And now Sunny is dealing with the price of a joke that went way too far.
They play. And it was hour after hour. I watched TV, was hour after hour, bashing him. Because they want to influence the American people how to vote. And they're influencing in the wrong way. All the rest of the stuff, they don't want to talk about it. So they said, let's do something so we will hurt his.
Just imagine if Melania actually wins. Sunny, the daytime TV self-appointed moral compass, was forced to issue a public apology to the very woman she's mocked for years. Melania, cool and composed, sipping tea at Mar-a-Lago while the internet completely melts down. That's not just payback, it's poetic justice in stilettos. Now Sunny's stuck juggling a media storm and legal chaos, reportedly scrambling for PR help that doesn't cost more than the lawsuit itself. Meanwhile, Melania stays silent, unbothered, and clearly not returning Sunny's calls. The irony: Sunny built her brand on defending women's dignity, yet spent years turning Melania into a punchline. That's not empowerment. That's hypocrisy in high definition.
Some people, they see me as just a wife of the president, but I'm standing on my own 2 feet, independent. I have my own thoughts. I have my own yes and no. I don't always agree what my husband is saying or doing, and that's okay.
Are you able to tell him when you disagree?
I gave him my advice, and sometimes he listens, sometimes he doesn't.
And let's be clear, Melania isn't exactly a symbol of pure, selfless virtue. She's private, media shy, and yes, she launched an anti-bullying campaign while married to one of the most notorious online bullies around. The irony is obvious. Still, that doesn't give Sunny or anyone else a free pass to turn her into a walking meme for years. What started as commentary slowly became non-stop mockery, and at some point, it crossed the line. Now, Melania is responding not with words, but with a $300 million legal hammer. This isn't just about bruised feelings, it's a statement. She's not looking for a quick apology squeezed between TV segments. She's aiming for retribution on a scale as bold as her wardrobe. You can laugh at the lawsuit if you want, but when she walks into that courtroom with a folder heavy enough to quiet a whole panel, it'll be clear this stopped being a joke a long time ago.
Melania Trump came out and said she's about as pro-choice as they come. And here was the reaction on The View.
I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all agree on that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out. She does not want to be the first lady anymore.
They agree again.
She doesn't want to be the first lady. She destroyed the Rose Garden. Who hates Christmas? Melania Trump hates Christmas. She doesn't want to decorate for Christmas. She doesn't want anything to do with him. She doesn't want to sleep in the same room with him. She can't tolerate him.
Would you look? This is a network that still runs out fact checks to these women, like it's concerned about them staying factual. She hates Trump. She doesn't want to be near him. She doesn't want to be president again. She destroyed the Rose Garden and she hates Christmas. That is what passes for news. On a network, they did a presidential.
Of course, Sunny defenders are already yelling that it was just satire. And sure, satire is legal, but so is suing for defamation. Free speech doesn't mean free passes, especially when the jokes are repeated, televised, and dressed up in designer shade. Sunny didn't take one shot at Melania, she turned it into a recurring bit, like a slow-burn roast airing week after week. Meanwhile, Melania didn't rant, tweet, or clap back online. She lawyered up, dropped a $300 million lawsuit, and stepped away. That's not pettiness, that's precision. While Team Sunny argues for free speech, Team Melania is watching the courtroom drama play out like a primetime thriller. And the real twist, Melania got the final word without saying a word at all.
That criticism, I mean, that was gross from The View. Look, The View is not the litmus test of America. We don't think that.
They were afraid of that remark. That was their problem.
So why did...
And now the tables have turned. Sunny, once known for her sharp takes, is suddenly on the defensive, her usual snark on pause, likely at her lawyer's request. Watching her carefully tiptoe around a topic she once mocked freely feels like seeing a comedian lose confidence mid-set, awkward, tense, and unusually quiet. But this isn't about killing humor, it's about drawing the clear line between satire and non-stop ridicule. There's a big difference between criticism and character assassination. Sunny thought she was being clever. Melania decided it was time for consequences. Now it's a showdown. On one side, Sunny with her quick wit and daytime platform. On the other, Melania, silent, composed, and backed by a $300 million lawsuit. And that silence? It was never weakness. It was the calm before a legal thunderclap.